Guys, what is up? Welcome to today's group coaching call. Hopefully you guys are having a great start to your week. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about lead gen, specifically talking about organic pipelines. So the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about Facebook ads and how to optimize them, how to run them, the different styles of them, how to use lead magnets and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm a huge fan of organic first and having an organic first approach, right? Meaning that the way that I kind of take a look at lead generation in general is how many leads do I need to generate to hit my goal for the month, right? And for new members. And the amount of new members for that month will be dependent upon how many people churned out of my gym the previous month, right? So let's say I have 8 people cancel their membership in February, then our goal internally is +5. So we know that we need to sign up 13 new members in March. That's our goal, right? And so from there, we'll take a look at how we could do that, right? So we'll look at some stuff that is already, planned. So like, as an example, maybe we have a reactivation campaign that's already planned. And that's usually a bigger push for us. So we may not need to run ads at all, right? We'll do totally organic. Or let's say that we just pushed a whole bunch of SEO work through the pipeline. Again, maybe we rate that. And if you guys haven't done the lead flow exercise where you're rating your different organic pipelines, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm talking about right now. Is we go through that exercise on the around the first of the month, the first meeting of the month for sure. And we kind of rate those pipelines, and we kind of get somewhat of an idea of how many leads or appointments or mostly leads that we think that we're able to generate from each one of those pipelines for the month, right? And if it looks like we're going to run short or we're going to need some help, that's when we will run Facebook ads. But we try not to. We try to do it all organically, because if we can acquire the amount of members that we need to grow organically, meaning we're not spending money on ads, then it is more profitable. And that is a goal of ours, is to be profitable, right? It's because we don't have that additional expense. Regardless of the return that we could get on ads, it's not guaranteed that we will get a return, but what is guaranteed is that we will spend the money, right? And so we try to do it through organic pipelines. So today I'm going to go over what those are, and then which ones that I think are the easiest maybe for you guys to implement right off the bat, and then which ones take a little bit more work and would be a longer term strategy. Absolutely, you should still do it, but is a little bit more of a longer term strategy. So I am going to share my screen. Let's do it. And we'll kind of go through where you can find this stuff. And if you haven't seen it yet, we just haven't been there yet. So welcome to the university. Let's head into the perfect gym model. And we are going to dive into phase 3, where it says organic first lead gen. All right. And these are all of the channels. Okay. So let's start at the first one. And if you guys want to find I'll show you one more spot where you can find all of them. If you go to if you wanted to kind of have like a printout or something like that. I believe it's right here. Should be able to go to, oh, it's not. It's in probably not this lesson, but this one. Oh, now we're struggling. It would be part of this. I'm looking for that one right there. Here it is. So what we're doing is we're looking at these different sources. And so you'll hear me talk about this all the time. We have 8 different organic sources and then 1 paid source. I might update this because now we have 4 different ways that we run ads. but still would all be considered this, so maybe not. But essentially, we have reactivation and broadcast, SMS. This is the lowest hanging fruit. If you have a list that of emails, SMSs, and you're not using it, you're not I let someone else in. If you are not using it and you are essentially just running paid stuff, this is a very easy way to make a new offer to people that otherwise are not getting offers made to them. Okay. And so you normally own these names, phone numbers, emails, and you just have to craft a really cool offer and send it to them, and you'll get a good return on it, right? For most cases. Sometimes your list was really old or whatever. If you want to, there is we're back in here. If you want to see what might impact the results that you'll have in reactivation, most of you guys have been through this, but I cover all of it because I know that not everybody has been through this yet. But there are certain things that will impact your reactivation campaign. But this is the lowest hanging fruit, I think, for most of us that have some stuff, right? And so if you were to click on this, and this video kind of walks you through it, but I'll just do it like really quick. These are some of the variables that would impact it. So, whoops. Oh my gosh. Here we go. So number one is the list size. We're going to shoot for anywhere for 2 to 4% of your entire list scheduling an appointment. All right. The second thing would be quality. Okay. Are these old leads? Are they old members? Did you buy the list from somebody else? Like how quality are these leads? Right. The second part of the quality would be, is it email or SMS? Right. Is it only emails? Is it only text messages, right? The way that we run a campaign is we put a lot of the good details and the information and the juicy stuff in the emails. And then for the text message, we just point to them and say, hey, I just shot you a really cool email. I think you would totally be interested in it. If you could just take a quick 5 seconds and give it a look and let me know your thoughts, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Right. And so we're pointing them to the email. The next variable would be the age, right? Was it a strong list, 10 years ago? 5 years ago, or were the majority of these names, phone numbers, emails generated within the last couple years, right? That means that they're probably in the area. They still live in the area usually, or work in the area. Usually when a list starts aging out, you'll find that a lot of people might reply like, hey, I don't live here anymore, or like, hey, I really like the gym, but I'm not in the area anymore, or something like that, right? Availability, guys, this plays a huge role in probably all the pipelines. But if you are not available to meet people when it is convenient for them, not you, but them, then you will find it harder and harder for appointments to schedule because none of the times are available. It's pretty self-explanatory. You want to shoot for prime hours, which would be 4 to 7 p.m. 4 to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, somewhere around there. Those are what I would consider to be like peak hours. And then probably Friday. You could probably we take Friday off for sales, so Saturday morning, like 7 to 11, something like that. That's 20 hours, right? That's 5 days times 4 hours per day is 20 hours of sales. That's probably all you need, to be honest with you. You probably don't need much more than that, just those hours. And if you can't do those hours, then obviously just do the hours that you can do. That's more important than none, right? And then figure out a way that you can, have somebody help coach classes or relieve you during those hours, because you can make a lot of money during those hours, which is what your gym needs. Next, changing campaigns. So if you just took the campaign that we've tested and just changed the hell out of it, I mean, maybe you made it better, maybe you made it worse. We don't know, but it's a variable, right? And again, it just says variables that affect. It doesn't say always make it worse, but make that affect it, right? And so if you took a reactivation campaign and you changed the hell out of it, you're just playing with variables, right? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it will impact it. I don't know if it's better or worse. Reputation. If you do not have a good reputation, whether it was your doing because maybe you had a bad team that really wasn't aligned with what you wanted to do as a gym, or you had a previous owner that and you bought the gym or assumed it or something, and the members that attended the gym that are on your list maybe didn't have the best experience. Maybe you ran some 6-week challenges and pissed some people off that didn't get their money back, whatever it may be. Guys, we've all had periods in our gym where it was less than perfect. Okay. And so just know that that might affect your ability to generate appointments and leads. Again, it could be, you could be at the top end of this 70, 80, 100 appointments booked. We've seen it happen time and time again. And usually these people had a great reputation. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, totally. I'm going to check it out right now, and then finally the frequency. Okay. So how often are you hitting your list? Okay. And so, if you're messaging them every 2 weeks, like you're going to get a little fatigue there. And they're going to, probably not be as engaged. But it's not necessarily just how often you message them, because I message really often, but the majority of my messaging is just value with no call to action, no offers, none of that, right? I'm just giving value. So again, even if you're only broadcasting or you're only running campaigns every other month, if that's all you're doing with your list, then they may kind of be onto the fact that every time you message them, you're just pitching them, right? You're just pitching them, and you're not actually giving them any value. You're just trying to sell them, right? So I'd recommend, and again, if you're using our software, all of your leads are getting value, all of them, because they're in a campaign. They're in some kind of a campaign, whether it's an active lead campaign, an inactive lead campaign, a members campaign, whatever, prior members, they're all going to be somewhere. No one's just sitting there, and they're all getting value. All of them are just getting great value. Okay. And so that's what we want to do. If you're not using our software or any kind of software that's just giving them value, then you have to do it manually, but don't not do it. Okay. So those are the impacts, but I would certainly do reactivation first. If you are looking at ways to diversify your lead gen and you have a list of old members, old leads, whether you have them from ads you ran or your CRM or anywhere. The second thing I would do, guys, and we'll go back to this sheet here, is member marketing. Okay. So if you have existing members, right, they're typically some of the best people that you can, that you can enroll in your program, right? Because you just have to do it a little bit differently. You have to offer them something different. And so if you go into referral-based lead gen, this is great for an existing gym owner that really doesn't have any organic channel set up. These campaigns and these events and challenges have made us so much money. And got a lot of referrals for us. So it's right here. It's called Indirect Referral Overview. And these events and challenges, this is a little bit of a longer training, but essentially what it is we have 6 different events and 6 different challenges. And you would, in theory, you would run them, 1 month you do an event, 1 month you do a challenge. Well, the purpose of events are for people to bring a +1. It's an indirect referral. It's not saying like, hey, come to my gym and, sign up with coach whoever. It's like, hey, my gym's hosting this cool event and they're offering, it's free for anybody that's a non-member. I'd really think you should come. And this, you get more and more people by how much do your coaches energize it? How much do you energize it? Are you emailing it out? Did you create an event on Facebook? Did you do all this stuff, right? And if you do all of those things, and I teach you what that is in here, but if you do all of them, you're going to get quite a few people that want to come to this event. And then we put them in a campaign after the event's over and they get messaged maybe a few days later. And it's like, hey, just checking in, wanted to see how you like the event. That's it. Right. And then they might respond back. They might not respond back. If they don't reply back, be like, hey, okay, cool. Anyways, if you ever have any needs you have any goals you reach, whether it's, lose weight, build muscle, get more athletic, whatever, we're here for you. And I have some really cool specials going on if you want to hear more about them. And that's it. Right. But the point is, now we've created contact, we've created a channel, we've opened up that line of communication. And when they ever need anything, they know exactly how to get a hold of you. And they've already been to your gym and it's already been vouched for by one of their friends, family, whoever referred them. Right. And we just have to consistently do this. Or you have challenges where, again, they're added to the challenge. And some of these challenges, they're all different. None of these are the same. But some of them would allow them to come train at your gym for free, or some of them would allow them to, win prizes for free. Even if they're not training at your gym, they could still lose weight or be on a team or whatever. But the point is that we're always running one of these because it generates leads, not necessarily from your members. Your members can buy the challenge too. And that's not lead generation. That's sales and profit. I'm not really talking about that right now, but all of these generate referrals, and referrals that is absolutely lead generation, right? There's other ways to get referrals, which I'll talk about now. So this is indirect referrals. These are from your members bringing people in indirectly, right? Then there is direct referrals. So that would be having something like this, an incentive program where your members clearly understand what they get when they refer people and how easy it can be. So again, like we have a QR code. These are hanging up all over our gym. Someone can literally scan this in and schedule their friend for a no sweat intro, right? And if their friend signs up, they get a 10% discount for life, right? And their friend gets 10% off. If they sign 2 people up, then they would get 20% off their membership. Their friends only get 10% off. That's the incentive for their friends to sign up via referral. But these people are members. They can get up to 50% off their membership for life, right? And I know what you're thinking. Hey, I don't want someone discounted at that amount. Listen, it's the cost of acquisition, right? So if you were to take the discount, let's say they're paying $300 a month, $69 a week. All right. And they have 50% off of that. It's $150. Okay. Every month, but they've brought you 5 new clients that signed up also at this high ticket price. And what is their lifetime value, right? And so let's say the average person signs up for a $300 program and they stay for 12 months. That's pretty typical. Even if they don't buy 12 months up front, they renew a couple times and they're there for 12 months. That's $3,600 over the course of 12 months. And it costs you, $150 a month to acquire them, right? And so if you just do the math, it really, really works out in your favor, right? Works out best when you're acquiring high ticket clients. Okay. So that would be directly referring them and making it incredibly easy. This goes right to your calendar in the FBU software or UpLaunch, whatever you're using, whatever you set the QR code up for. But guys, this is something that you could print off, get your logo on here, hang it up, and be done with it in a couple hours, right? And now we're generating referrals. The next thing you could do is team-based referrals. So if you have a team, this is another low-hanging fruit, guys, because a lot of you guys already have teams. They just, even if it's only 2 trainers, whatever, they just don't know how to refer people. So this walks them through exactly how to do it, right? Where they're going to be having these, they're going to go through this 5 R's document that you would have to explain to them. Well, that's not it. That's a tracker. This is the strategy. So they go through these 5 points, it's a 30-minute review. So they set aside 30 minutes and they review the blueprint with their client 30 days after the person gets signed up, right? Super simple. Step number 2, either they rewrite it because the person's program wasn't as effective and enjoyable as they would have hoped, or it was and is really effective and enjoyable and they love it. So we're going to record a quick 30-second video answering a couple questions. Hey, how did you feel before you started with me? How do you feel now with the results you've gotten? And then how do you feel about, moving forward and your continued progress in the program, right? And so you'll get a really cool clip there. Then you can ask them for a referral. Like, hey, John, it seems like you're really enjoying this. It seems like you like it a lot. Look, if you know anybody that would love to train with me or to work out with me or even work out with us, like we could train, 2-on-1, right? And I'll be able to discount your price a little bit and even, discount their price a little bit because you guys will kind of split the cost. It'll be a little bit more, but really it'll be splitting the cost. Again, that's point 3 and 4, right? And then number 5 would be showing them essentially what they get when they make that referral. So they would basically, you as the gym owner would make sure the discounts are applied and then shout out the coach or shout out the trainer and then give the trainer the commission and the scoreboard stuff, right? And so the first point is the coach and the client talking together. And then number 5 is what do you do as the owner to incentivize this and make this happen, right? And once you learn that, again, I'm giving a brief summary, guys. We go deep into it once you're in the course, but then they would fill out this tracker. And let's say they have, 20 clients that they're working with at your gym. they would just have to have this conversation 4 times a month, once a week. That's it. Just pick somebody, once a week to sit down and review their program with. That's it. Right. And then fill out this tracker, and you guys as gym owners hold the line, make sure everybody is filling one of these out. Right. And it's incredibly easy. Once they understand the training, it's like, okay, what's the coach's name? What month is it? And who are your 4 people? So John, and then what happened, guys? What happened with it? When did you meet with them? Was there a video recorded? When was it posted? What were the referral names? Did you recommend an increase in training? I'm not talking about that right now. That's part of like the thing, but we can easily upsell them into higher levels of training, which is like getting a new member, right? If somebody's paying, $69 a week and they ascend into a program that is like, I don't know, 109 a week, then we just essentially got a new member, right? It's the same person, but revenue wise, it's like getting a new member with no cost of acquisition, right? And did they give you a referral, right? Did you meet with them and did they sign up? Okay. So these are all like, what happened? We're not just meeting people just to meet them. Like, what was the result of this? And if this was all no, then we're just assuming they wrote a new blueprint because the person wasn't happy with the program. That doesn't happen very often. So referrals, guys, would be number 2, because you have almost everybody in here has an existing business with an existing team and an existing membership base. So these are all ways that you can leverage that existing team and that existing membership base to get new members. It's not all just cold traffic, guys, right? Your team should be incentivized and willing to help the business grow, right? They really should. And they should know how to do it. That's your job, is to teach them how to do it, right? But they should want to do it if they're passionate about helping people and they're passionate about the place that they work. They just maybe don't have the skills yet, and we can teach them the skills. All right, so that would be number 2. The next thing that I would focus on is the website. I think that's a very easy one. Let me get back to my my main place here. Whoops. Sorry, I had to move the little talking guys. So we'll go back and we're going to take a look at the, whoops, bear with me here. I'm all over the place. All right. So the next one would be the website. We'll skip over Facebook group for now, but I think the website is another very, very easy place for you to be able to get leads. So I'm going to minimize this and you'll see I have my website here in the background. And again, I show you exactly how to put your website together like this, and again, mine is much more, optimized for mobile than it is right here on the desktop. 80 to 90% of all of your, visitors are going to be on their phone, right? And so you want to make sure it's optimized for your phone for sure. And I show you how to do that. But you want to make sure this call to action is front and center. And then you have some kind of chat widget attached to it. So again, if you have our software, we do all this stuff for you, but you want it to be very clear immediately what you guys are all about, right? And what is your offer and what's the call to action? So obviously the offer is a free transformation program. That's what we say in this video here. She's telling you to do it. Everyone's telling you to do it. You can scroll down. This is just, case studies, client experience. Basically, first we tell them what we do, right? And how they can take advantage of it. Then we tell them how they can do it, right? How do we do this? How do we do what we do, right? And we explain like how it works, step 1, step 2, step 3, so easy. Then we show them some shit about people that have done it, reinforcing that we are who we say we are. And we have social proof saying that, right? Then you can put like whatever else you want to put on here, but that's the most important stuff is the top part. And then, so if they have any questions, they can click on here, and this will link up directly to your FBU software, and they can start chatting with you about whatever they want to chat with you about, right? If they have any questions. Otherwise, they can just schedule an appointment by clicking on this, and then they'll fill this out and it'll take them right to the calendar, right? And then they can do that. But the website would be something that I think you don't have to do too much to, because there's only a couple small changes that a lot of you guys need to make, because you all have existing websites. Almost everybody that comes into this program has a website. It maybe just isn't designed or optimized for lead capture. So it's a few small tweaks and we can get it optimized for lead capture. And now all of a sudden your visitors turn into appointments, right? If you have problems with SEO or people aren't showing up, that gives us an opportunity to work on SEO, which is search engine optimization, and getting people when they type in keywords on Google, like gyms near me or personal trainers in Milwaukee or, fitness programs or CrossFit or boot camps or, exercise, whatever, you pop up. We want you to be on the first page. That's different than optimizing your website, right? Optimizing your website is so when they get to your website, they know exactly what to do and exactly what you're offering and how they can take advantage of it. It needs to be crystal clear and very simple and arguably like immediate, right? The second part after that is like, well, if they're not coming to the website, all of that is pointless. So how do we get them to the website, right? And that's what SEO is in Google, right? And so how do we do that? Okay, so that would be the next thing I would do. And I'm going in order of what I think would be the most effective and the lowest hanging fruit for most people. The next thing I would say is an outdoor signage, because again, all of us have brick and mortars, right? Now, the type of signage is going to be dependent upon your location and what you're able to do, right? So some people do like window clings, some people do sign like actual like a big ass signs out front. Like I have a really big sign, but that's because it's my location allows for that, right? But I don't have a lot of foot traffic, so I can't do like a little A-frame or window clings because you won't be able to see it from the road, right? So everybody, I think everybody is able to take advantage of signage, but they all four main pieces that come with signage, guys, and I cover that in the course too. But number one is you need to have your logo on there. So people can associate what they've seen on your website or ads or whatever with an actual brick and mortar location. But even the logo alone, especially like for some gyms, it doesn't say, what it is. So if they haven't seen you or heard of you before and they're just driving or walking past, like it may not be apparent that you guys are even a gym, right? Just depending on your logo and how it looks. Like there's logos that I've seen that are like Iron Den, right? As an example, like what is that, right? Now you would need a descriptor underneath it. Okay. So that's where the second piece would be is like, Iron Den gym and fitness facility or Iron Den gym and nutrition or whatever. Have a descriptor beneath your logo that explains what your business does. Okay. So that's part number 2. Part number 3 is you need to have an offer. Okay. An offer on your signage. So that could be like, home of the free 7-day transformation program, right? That's a great offer. It's an offer. They understand what you do. Oh, these guys just aren't an open gym where you come and use the treadmills. Like, this is like, I don't know, transformation. They must do a lot of stuff. This must be for people that are kind of serious. Okay, cool. Now I know, right? And maybe they make a decision based on that. They might be like, oh shit, I ain't trying to do that. I'm just trying to go use a treadmill. And someone else is like, oh man, that's exactly what I need. So now we're getting higher quality leads based on that, right? And then finally, number 4 would be a call to action, right? And so we need some kind of a call to action. So what do you want them to do? Because we've told them what the business name is. We told them what the business does with the descriptor. We told them what you're offering them, right? But now we have to tell them how to take advantage of that offer. So what do you want them to do? It could be something like walk-ins are welcome, stop in now. Or it could be like, text this number or call this number or visit this website or whatever you think people are most likely to do in your area. It could even be Instagram. It could be whatever. You just have to know your area and your avatar and your people and make a decision. For us, it's just stop in now, walk-ins welcome. I don't know if that's the best. Guys, we're always changing it. We always change our signage, right? Now we probably change it every 3 months, every quarter. Okay. Sometimes we don't change shit but the color, right? Because it's an offer that works, it converts well, but people like, I don't know about you guys, but after you drive past like the same exact sign for like months in a row, you almost just like immediately start ignoring it. Not even on purpose, but I think it's just human nature. Like it becomes white noise. It's just, I don't know. But when you change the color of it, say you change it from green to red, it's like, oh my God, there's a new sign here. What does it say? And it could say the exact same thing, right? Or maybe you change it up and you have everything the same, except you change the call to action. Maybe you change it from, walk-ins welcome to call this number. and you get a lot more people calling for whatever reason. You're like, oh shit, the first one didn't work, but now I changed it to call this number, and man, my phone's ringing a lot. Or text this number, or visit this website, or whatever. Right? These are things that you have to try. That's marketing, right? Marketing is like literally just running tests over and over again until you figure out what works. Right. And so maybe you'll get it right on your first try. That's awesome. I try to help you guys as much as I can with you getting it right on your first try with all of this stuff, right? With how to get referrals, with how to run events and challenges, with how to engage your team, with how to optimize your website, with how to run reactivation campaigns, all of this stuff. I try to help you as much as I can get it right on your first try, because I've ran so many tests, not just for myself, but for a ton of gyms now. Right. And so I know what gives you the highest probability, because it's the stuff that's worked across multiple locations, hundreds of times in different markets. Right. Is it still 100% chance that it's going to work for you? No, I don't think anything's 100% chance with marketing. And so you still have to, test things out, but you should have a shitload of less testing and time and money spent, because there's a high likelihood that the most probable thing will work for you too, right? It's the most probable. Okay. And so again, with signage is just another one of those things where it's like, if you use all of these best practices, it'll probably be much freaking better than you just having a logo out there and nobody knows what the hell's even going on there. Right. So that's the next thing that I would probably focus on, and the lowest hanging fruit. Then I would probably take a look at some of the things that require a little bit more work. Okay. And that being the free Facebook group and the health and fitness fairs. Okay. So, I'll start with the free Facebook group, but both of these guys are for cold traffic, right? So they're not warm traffic, and what I mean by cold traffic is people that don't know who you are, right? It's just that simple. People that have never heard of you, they don't know who you are, and you're introducing yourself to them. Because now we have two beliefs to break. Number one is that they have to do this certain thing, right? And number two is that you're the one they should do it through, right? Versus some of the warmer traffic leads where they don't need to be convinced that they need to get in shape, right? Because they went to your website. Well, they're searching for you. You know what I mean? Like, they already have decided that they need to get in shape. Now you only have to break one belief, and that's that you are the person that they should do business with, right? Whereas Facebook and some of this other stuff, you might reel in some people that, man, they ain't even trying to get in shape, but you just threw an ad in their face or something, and they're like, oh, I should check this out, right? So it's a little bit tougher, and the lead quality is a little bit less, but it makes sense. So the free Facebook group, what we're doing is we're collecting people for their name, phone number, and email for a low price, because the offer is incredibly easy to understand. Join my free Facebook group. I'm an expert in this local community. Enter your name, and I'm giving away tips for free, right? And if you don't like it, you can just leave the group. There's no catch. It's just a Facebook group. So you're getting a lot of people that opt in for that, because there is no catch. It is literally just, and you are able to then get them to know, like, and trust you by posting content, right? You post content on a somewhat regular basis. You engage with people that engage with you, right? And then after a certain amount of time, you retarget them through what I would do is a reactivation campaign, right? Because you're capturing their information, you're putting them in your system, but you're not making any offers. Do not make offers from your group. Provide value. Right? Because you will make an offer in your group. You will make an offer, but it won't be through your group. The offer that you make will be through SMS and email, because you have their information. You can portray so much more, and the delivery rates are so much higher, right? And so it doesn't make sense to make offers in your group when only 10% of your group are even going to see it, versus the open rate of an email and the delivery rate of SMS, which is 100%, unless they give you a bogus number, right? So we're going to retarget them through email and SMS. Now, that's a list builder. You certainly want to build your list by being able to do that. I listed under organic because, guys, you can probably grow your group to a few hundred people for free, right? Just by the sphere of influence you already have as being a gym owner in your area. And if your coaches push it out, if everybody pushes this link out, your coaches, your members, you, everybody, like, you will get people to join this group up to 200, 300, 400, 500 people organically. Now, there's ways to supercharge it by adding ads that run to your group. You don't have to do that though, right? You can grow groups organically. And so, and in fact, the people that join organically are probably better leads than people that join through ads. But eventually, if you like this strategy and this strategy is working well for you, you're going to want to keep it growing. Okay. The last thing I'll talk about is the health and fitness fair. This is, again, something that requires a little bit more effort, but if anytime you can get a lot of people from your local area into your business as a brick and mortar small business owner, you should probably do that thing, right? And so what this does is you set up an event on Facebook and say, hey, look, I'm going to host the first annual, Brookfield, health and fitness fair. And you just pick it by your city name. Don't name it after your gym. That just seems like, again, a sales opportunity for you as a business owner. This is bigger than that, right? And so we'll call this the Brookfield Health and Fitness Fair, right? And we're going to be just taking you through some cool activities. And it's very much so an open house, right? And so, maybe you have a 10-minute movement assessment. If somebody's like complaining about their lower back and knees hurt or something like that, or you have a 10-minute like body fat analysis, right? Or body composition analysis. If you have an in-body at your gym or something like that, chances are people in your local community have never had their body fat percentage tested or know how many pounds of lean mass they have or anything like that. And they'd be interested to find out. Maybe you have like something for like the younger crowd, like maybe like a core and booty workout or something that's like 15 minutes long. And it shows them how to target some of the areas that people are really seem to be infatuated with right now, right? Or maybe you have something like a quick, like healthy smoothie and you got a couple blenders in there and some super basic ingredients and some protein powder or something, and you show them how to make a super healthy breakfast in 5 minutes or less, right? And everybody gets free samples of it. So these are all different activities that you could list on this event, and you make a Facebook event, a public Facebook event for your whole city, right? And it's one of those things where they can mark interested or going. This is free. This doesn't cost you anything, right? And you spread the hell out of it. You get people to share it. You get people marked as interested or going. You post a bunch of pictures in that event page of like you and your team setting things up or of your gym and like where you're going to be having stuff. You just get people fired up and pumped up. And then they come in for the day of the event, and you take them through, you and your team, whoever, even your members can help out with this if you don't have a big team, right? And you just take them through some of this stuff and you just kind of guide them around this open house, right? And maybe when you get 3 people at a station, then you start the activity for 5, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes, right? And then everybody on your team knows how to do a quick 30-second elevator pitch. That's it. Right. And you do like hey, if you really enjoyed this, like that's what we do here at Body by Design, right? We help people not just with their fitness, but with their nutrition, with goal setting and tracking, with accountability, with coaching, with mindset. We do all of it. Okay. And so if you're interested, we have a free 7-day trial of one of our transformation programs that normally we charge for, but you get it for free because you decided to show up here today, right? Who, show of hands, is interested? Okay. Let me write your name down. Can you go ahead and just stop at the front desk and they're going to get you scheduled for that next week. Is that fair? Cool. I'll see you up there. Right. And now you're scheduling people for these, sales appointments for transformation programs, right? It's 100% free, right? You just have to know how to set it up, how to get people attended, interested. All of that stuff's in the training, guys. Then we have the paid stuff, right? And the paid stuff we're not going to talk about today. We've been talking about that the last couple of weeks, but no matter what the offer is, guys, no matter what it is, the sale and the fulfillment is always the same. That's how you scale. If you have to change the way that you sell something, your flagship program, if you have to change the way that you fulfill it based on the offer, it introduces so much complexity into your business that it's so hard to scale, right? You can understand it because you are an entrepreneur, you're a gym owner, but try to get your team to consistently understand it and then have them have confidence in you when you're changing things every 4 to 8 weeks. Right? Because there's a new offer. They don't understand what that means. They don't understand marketing. They're coaches. They don't understand offers and all that stuff. All they understand is like Joey's constantly changing things to find leads. Maybe we're not that good at doing stuff. When that's not the case at all, you do have to change marketing, right? But if you don't change the sale and you don't change the fulfillment, then it doesn't really matter. Okay. And so I'm going to stop my share. Now think about it. If you are essentially doing these things on a regular basis and analyzing these different pipelines and these different channels, right? Would it be reasonable to say you'll probably get at least, 3 appointments from each one of them? right? I mean, I don't think that's a crazy amount if you have all of them engaged. Some of them will be more, but let's just be conservative and say 3. Well, guys, there's 8. So 3 times 8 is 24 appointments, right? And honestly, when you look at organic appointments freaking show up. These are referrals. These are people that searched you out either by driving past you and stopped in or went to your website because they were Googling you, right? These are people that attended one of your events or challenges. These are people that came into your brick and mortar location for a health and fitness fair. Like they're not going to show up 3 days later for an appointment. These aren't people scrolling on Facebook and barely even read your copy. Organic appointments show up, man, and they're great quality. And they've already, a lot of them, been to your gym or know somebody that's been to your gym. Or they've been in a reactivation campaign through SMS and email, and they've received a ton of copy, or they've been sitting in your free Facebook group, absorbing everything that you've been giving them, right? They almost freaking feel like they're members. They've saw your coaches do a tip of the day. They know who you are because they've been watching your videos. They've had a tour of the gym. They damn near feel like they're members. They just haven't signed up yet, right? And you're just giving them an invitation to come check it out, which is that sales appointment, okay? And so being conservative, that's 24 appointments. I would argue that you're going to have a 70% show rate, 60 to 70% show rate, right? And so now we're at, let's just say 18 appointments that are actually showing up, right? Now, let's say that you close, I don't know, 70%, especially when you bolt on a free 7-day trial and basically say like, look, if anything's not perfect, like you just let me know. You do that risk reversal. Now we're closing, let's just say of the 18, let's say we close, I don't know, 13 of them. 5 of them we don't close. Well, guys, that's 13 high ticket members, right? And now you can see this is how we can grow our gym organically. We don't need Facebook ads. But like I said in the beginning of this video, let's say our goal was 16 new signups, right? Well, it looks like I'm going to be short. So I might run a campaign, right? But how much will I spend on that campaign? A hell of a lot less if I only got to get 4 new signups from it versus 16. And I see so many gym owners putting all their money in campaigns first. And if organic stuff trickles in, that's icing on the cake. Well, it's like, no, man, like you want to diversify. What happens if your number one approach, which is like Facebook ads, what happens when there's an algorithm change or something and it totally kills your ability to generate leads, which actually happened, like a year ago when iOS, almost 2 years ago now, when iOS updated and made it really difficult for pixels to track, people. All that means is that it's harder for Facebook to find the right people that are going to opt in to your ads, right? Because they don't have as much information about these people because they can't track it, right? And so you can still find people, but it's going to be more expensive, right? Because it's going to cost a little bit more and it's going to require a few more impressions to find the right people that are actually going to opt in, right? And so, and arguably, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but some of them are not the right people, right? I'm like, this is not somebody that is qualified to train at my gym. I don't know how you ended up opting in. You don't even remember opting in, so that's not a good sign, right? But I am certainly not going to put all of my eggs in that basket. I need to diversify. And if any one of these channels shuts down, the other 7 are still up and running, and they're not dependent upon each other, right? And so my website has nothing to do with my signage. My signage has nothing to do with my Facebook group. My Facebook group has nothing to do with my abilities to generate referrals. These are all independent and diversified, channels that are constantly feeding leads into my gym, right? And as long as I keep my sales the same and I keep my fulfillment the same, it doesn't matter. None of it matters, right? And so when you get into our sales training, you'll see that no matter what the offer is, we're walking people through the same conversation of identifying what their goals are and then having them program for them that we've identified as our flagship program, having this program for them that addresses those goals and then lets them know how they can accomplish them in a certain duration of time, completely dependent upon where they're at now and what their goals are, right? And then it's just up to them if they want to take this journey. And if they do, look, we're going to be with them every step of the way as their coach, okay? And so that's how we do an organic first approach. And then we will add on ads if needed. But I think that is the best way to grow your gym profitably, right? Because your cost of acquisition is much lower and your lifetime value is much higher because of the nature of these leads. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to get, I wanted to do an overview. We're not doing a deep dive into any one of these channels because that stuff is in the course, and all that training is like, some of the training's long, dependent upon which pipeline you are digging into, because I want to leave like no stone unturned for you guys. I want to give you all the deliverables. I want to give you all the copy, everything, all the posters. If you're running an event, exactly how to run the event, how to do all of it, right? Because I've tested this stuff so many times, and there's small tweaks that would mess something up, right? And so I want you to use best practices. So the first time you run it, it's a home run, right? And so anyways, when it's time for you guys to run and start installing these campaigns or these pipelines into your gym, that's when you'll dive into that training. So it's in phase 3. It is the first, second, and third lesson of phase 3. The first being an organic approach, the second one being referrals, and the third one being paid. And when you get through that stuff, if you do these things and you follow the lead flow exercise, you will have a very diverse and robust lead generation system, and you will no longer be worried about getting more leads. Instead, you'll be moving on to sales and fulfillment, right? How do we close all these people? How do we fulfill at a high level? It's easy to fulfill on 3 new members a month, with an amazing client experience, but it's a lot different when you signed up 30 in a month and you're like, holy shit, how do I make sure like none of these people like slip through the cracks and they all get a great client experience and my coaches aren't overwhelmed and all of that stuff? Well, guys, that's what phase 3 is all about. So anyways, appreciate you guys jumping on the call today. If you're watching from the Facebook group, appreciate you. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, or unmute, or shoot me an email. You guys know how to get a hold of me. And then I will address them then. So hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of this lead generation organic stuff. And I'll see you guys on tomorrow's coaching call, where we're going to be going over sales and how to really go from transitioning from the pitch to the close and how to get the close. So I'll see you guys there. We're out of here.